last but not least, I invite Anna Keenan of the Green Party to present her opening words.
Thank you very much. Sounds like the mic's on. I'm Anna Keenan, and I'm hoping to serve as your next Member of Parliament. I want to thank the Chamber for hosting this debate. It's always the high point for the campaign, and without this debate we wouldn't be having one. As the Malpeque candidates, I know that in Charlottetown they're often presented with 3 or 4 debate opportunities, so thank you so much to the Chamber for making this happen. And it's great to be back on the stage. Of course, I did run in 2019, and I'm back because I want to build on that result that we got 2 years ago and see if we can make it a green breakthrough this time. I want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we're gathered, here in Katacanek, Epiquet, Malpeque, or Kensington, PEI in the Maritimes. I feel it's really important to acknowledge the land that we're gathered on because Canada is in the middle of a journey of truth and reconciliation. We've heard a lot in the last year about the truths of residential school and the intergenerational trauma that has resulted for our Indigenous brothers and sisters. And now that we've heard those truths, we need to walk the path of reconciliation. It's a generational project. It's going to take a couple of decades to get to the end of that path, and I would really love to be in Parliament to help support Canada in walking that path all the way to the end over those decades. So why am I running? I'm running because, honestly, I think politics needs a bit of a shake-up. I think that the political ideologies that have been dominant for the last 50 years are not the same political ideologies that we need for the next 50. We're at a point of change in paradigms. I've decided to throw my hat in with the Greens, and that was a choice I made 6 years ago now, because I believe that the Green Party is at the vanguard of public policy. We've been talking about climate change action for decades. We've been talking about a universal pharmacare system and a world-class healthcare system for decades. We've been talking about a universal basic income, proper land use planning and urban design, and social housing investments. All of these things to help us meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs as well. I distinctly remember about 15 years ago when I started working on these issues and getting involved in politics at a Christmas dinner. Some of my second cousins were listening to what I was doing, and I was laughed at for being such an idealist. Green ideas were pretty out there maybe 15 or 20 years ago. But politics has shifted. The world has changed. People are seeing the news every day and are realizing these ideas the Greens have been going on about for decades, maybe they're the ideas that we need. And that's why Peter Bevan Baker and the provincial Greens have made these breakthroughs at the provincial level in the last 6 years. We're official opposition now on PEI, and we think it's time to try to make a breakthrough and add a little bit of diversity into the slate of 4 candidates that we send, 4 MPs that we send to represent PEI in Ottawa. Obviously, the Green Party is not going to form a majority government after this election. Maybe that's going to happen in 15 or 20 years' time. But what we can do is add some green voices to the debate. My ideal outcome from this election is a minority government. I would be very concerned if any of the parties gained a majority, because then it doesn't matter what you've promised in the election campaign, the party can do what they want. So in a minority government, if I have the pleasure of serving as your MP, if people put their trust in me, I promise to support the government when they do good things and hold their feet to the fire when they need it. Thank you.